Approaching the hour to start. It looks like it's 6 o'clock. So I'd like to welcome everyone here. It's always good to see a good turnout to City Council. We've asked Gavin Lott if he would give us a prayer to start this meeting. Gavin? Come on up here, Gavin. Thank you for being willing to do this. Just right over there, Gavin. Yes.
Our Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day. We're thankful that we could be here today and that we may be at this meeting. And please help it may go well and that we may get stuff that needs to be done. And we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Gavin. Also, we've asked Stephanie Zavala if she would lead us in the pledge. Stephanie, would you just come up right up there?
Okay, will everyone please recite the pledge with me?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go on to the consent agenda. Number one, approval of the September 18th, 2019 City Council meetings. Number two, ordinance boundary adjustment between Payson City and Salem City reaffirmed. Number three, Utah Telecommunications Open Infrastructure Agency, Utopia easements. Resolution agreement for the right-of-way access crossing with Union Pacific Railroad Company. Do I have a motion from the council to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded. Calls for a roll call vote, starting with Councilwoman Hyatt.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. We'll move on to C, petitions. The public forum. Would like to open a public forum. Anyone can speak on items that are not on the agenda. Time limit is 3 minutes. If you can do it in less than 3, that would be great. And so we'll go to that point. If any of you would like to come and address us.
How are you doing? My name is Jamie Evans, Allen Evans Companies. First thing, I was wondering if we could get our federal government to say the Pledge of Allegiance before they start all their meetings. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice.
Second, what I'm coming to you for, and I appreciate the time here that you're going to give me, and we can get this done in 3 minutes. I've been working on a project that deals with Payson City now for 11 years. You guys own a gravel pit, and 11 years ago you signed a contract, and it was a 5-year contract, and I've been watching it, which is the gravel pit out near landfill. 5 years after that, 5 years gone up, and I wanted to compete for it, and I was told that they were going to renew the contract for an additional 5 years like they could on the contract. Well, somewhere between that contract getting extended and now the contract was renewed with another 5-year contract with no competition happening on that. And I've been trying to compete for this for the past 6 years. And the part that I don't understand is why the city is not putting this out to bid. I came here just recently because I clock it and watch it, and I came here just recently to find how I can compete for this, and I'm not finding that this may not be put out to bid to compete for it. And I'm not the only one. This is in a value of way over $100,000, and I think the threshold is somewhere around 50. This contract's going to be about $200,000 to $300,000 a year, and I want to make sure the public gets the right to compete for it. As a business person, I don't understand why the city does not want to get as much out of the asset as they have. And I'm amazed that when I come to try to work this through, that the city just doesn't say, yeah, this is going out for contract and it's going out for bid. I give you a list of people that I personally talked to that are interested in bidding to have this gravel pit. What the county did to the gravel industry last year and cut off everything at West Mountain and made it more difficult makes you the value of your gravel pit quite excessive. And the reason that I'm here is because I want to make sure we all get to compete for it. But I own a gravel pit and I know the value of the gravel pit. And because you guys are undervaluing your gravel pit because it's not put out to competition is devaluing my gravel pit. And I want the city to get everything that it's worth. If you do put this out to bid, I also own billboards. And I would like the opportunity for free to advertise that you guys are going to put this out to bid, and every contractor in this that knows about it will be calling to try to find out and bid on this information. Because owning the gravel pit is the key component to successfully run an excavation company. I'm asking you to be transparent, and I appreciate your time, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I have questions.
Oh, go ahead.
Can I,
You bet.
how come we haven't put it out for bid?
Well, that's something we'll have to discuss with staff. So we'll, that's been broached here, so we'll discuss that with staff.
Because I don't know if you guys do, I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
I brought letters 5 years ago to the city council, but I had no response.
I don't think none of us.
Yeah, we weren't here. So that's something we will take up with
Well,
staff.
can I get somebody to agree to get back with me on the city
Sure.
council?
Oh, yeah, we'll get
If you would like me to get back to them, I'll be glad to do that.
I appreciate it.
Anyone else? I'd like to take the opportunity to address this in public forum. Okay, not seeing anyone, we'll go ahead and close the public forum and we'll go on to staff reports. Anybody from the staff would like to address us with public hearing?
Mayor and council, I just thought I'd give you an update on some building permits that we've had recently. So we're up to 97 single family, 1 twin home, 2 duplexes, 36 townhomes, 7 that are, 5 units or more, and then 5 commercial. So we've got 148 building, or just new building permits so far. That doesn't count remodels or, sheds or fences or any of that. So it's been busy and picked up with the water department. Cameron Phillips that has been put in as the water superintendent. We've just been fixing a lot of leaks still. We just had another one pop up today that we've got to go fix. So, but he's tackling the water meters and that. We put the water meters out to bid, and so we got 3 bids on that. They came in pretty well. So I'm guessing, we're buying the meters and that so that they don't have an exact cost, but it should be between $3.5 to $3.7 million probably to put all of the meters and PI meters in. So we were estimating $4.3 million, so that should be good. So, and then we're reviewing all the master plans and general plan documents. So it's been very busy. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions, but
How's the sewer line?
they are way behind schedule, but they are moving.
Are they going about this far every day?
So, I'll talk to you offline on that. Yeah, it could go a lot faster.
So Travis, I noticed on that report you're mentioning that we have about 3 million in commercial building, 2 commercial buildings. Do you know what those permits were for?
Not off the top of my head, I'd have to look. That was just a summary report that Kevin sent to me, so I'd have to look.
Mayor and City Council, I apologize, I lost my voice. But just to give you a heads up, we actually will be providing that report to you with your monthly report. I'll be sending it out tonight. And so you'll actually have a lot of detail because Kevin went to the extent of also including how many inspections are being completed each week and each month. Because with all this construction that's occurring, We do have a building inspector that is very busy and running from job site to job site. So I think it's very valuable information for you to see. So he's done year to date, he's done it by month, a really good breakdown. And so definitely look at that information. And if you have any questions, just reach out to our department.
I have a question real quick on building inspections. Is he able to keep up with what we have? Because I know KSL just ran a special with all the growth happening in Utah County that inspections are falling behind and they're not keeping up with the quality work across the state, not Payson in particular, but.
That's probably a better question for John himself,
Okay.
but I know that he has mentioned that it has been a bit of a challenge to get to his plan reviews.
Okay.
Because where he is out in the field so often doing inspections, it's really it's hard to find that office time to
Right.
actually be reviewing the plans.
Okay.
And so I think that, he's being very thorough out in the field and getting those done, but then, there's been, some problems with getting some of those.
I'd like to make sure that he is thorough because once it's done, and if we have too much growth to keep up with, that could be a
And
problem.
I'm sure that's a high, and I think that's why he's falling behind on plan reviews, is because he does want to be thorough and making sure that those buildings are safe. But yeah, that's probably better. Probably need to get some feedback from John on that, but we thought we would start with a good evaluation of the number of permits, the number of inspections happening, so you guys can start gauging that and see at what point, there may need to be some additional resources there.
We did also budget in this current budget some additional funds for additional contract inspectors.
Okay.
To help keep up.
Perfect.
So we're already taking care of it.
Very good.
Okay, a couple of things. I sent you an email. Keystone Construction has extended an invitation to the community, actually. They are the builders of the new townhome, Spring Creek Townhomes, which is located on the west side of I-15, south of 800 South. You may have seen a new townhome development that's under construction there. They're actually having an open house Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So anyone in the community can go out and see their development, walk through their model home. But they have extended a special invitation to the mayor and the city council and the planning commission to go out tomorrow between 11 and 2. So they would like to see city folk there tomorrow. I know that that's a difficult time for some of you, but just know that you're welcome to go on Friday or Saturday also to go and see. They're really excited about this project. They've started construction of the clubhouse. They have that model home completed, so they're really excited and they want to share that excitement with you. So if you have time.
This week or next?
It is this week.
Does it show on?
Oh, no, it is next week. You are correct. You are correct. It is the 10th. Yes, you are correct. So thank you for that correction. And then also, we've been waiting for this for so long, so I'm excited to announce that we will be launching the audio tour for the Mount Nebo National Scenic Byway. So to let the public know that as well. We do have one of 8 national scenic byways in the state of Utah. And so that's Payson County. It's a 38-mile drive from Payson over into Juab County. And so it's a perfect time of year with the fall colors. And so get your families or get your spouse, whoever you would like to enjoy that with, and take some time this weekend to go enjoy our canyons. We'll put this information on the website. But we have partnered with Travel Stories out of Wyoming in order to do this audio tour. And so just a little bit of history. We developed an audio tour that was put on CD back in the late 90s, and we've actually worked with this group. They actually put it on available for mobile devices, and it is GPS triggered. And so all you have to do is download it when you have service, and then as you continue along that 38 miles, it'll spotlight some of the interpretive points and some of the historical or geological features along the byway. So it's a great story. We've also included, one of the reasons we delayed with launching this is the Forest Service wanted to include a new story on the fire that occurred in Payson Canyon last year. So there is a new story in there about the fire. So you go to travelstories.com and download that. So it's TRAVELSTORYS. So it's not IES, it's YS.com. And there are a lot of other tours, in Utah and throughout the nation. So as you're traveling, you can use that. But we now have the Nebo Loop audio tour on there, so we're really excited about that. So I will send you some more information. We'll get it on the website so the public is aware of that, but we definitely want to get that word out. So that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Are there any other staff?
I have a question for Joe real quick. I heard rumor that Tour of Utah is, or Dave or somebody, are we in talks with Tour of Utah
We are.
for next year?
Yep. We're gonna put a resolution on the agenda for next council meeting, but they did approach us and would like to come back for 2020. They've given us some documents to review. It'll probably be similar to last year's arrangement, but there's still some detail that needs to be worked out. They don't have the total area where they're going. They haven't got their plan yet,
Sure.
but it's one of the areas they do like to come back to Payson. So we'll put that on the agenda next council meeting for your approval if you're interested in supporting that again next year.
Any other staff members? If not, we'll go ahead and move on to council reports, starting with Councilman Christensen.
I don't have much to say. Weather's been nice. It's good to see our water has surpassed its need this time around, and we're not crying that the water's been shut off, because it's still there, which is great. We appreciate all that our water guys have done to keep the water flowing the best they have, as dirty as it's been and whatnot. So anyway, thank you.
Had a couple of things here. I want to give a shout out to our mayor. Dave and I were at UTA Frontrunner Academy, they called it, about 2 weeks ago. And Mary Schaefer, who's over this part of the Utah County for UTA, said that the mayor, because the mayor's been pushing, that they allotted $350,000 to start a study, the environmental study for Frontrunner coming down to Payson. So that's a great thing. So thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
The other thing is we had our golf event today. It went really well. We had helicopter rides for people that are that are up there. We had a lot of people come. We had like 27 teams, I think, and then some people that didn't come as a team. But we had 2 county commissioners there. We had 8 people from EDC Utah. We had people from NTEC, UVU. We had a group that's looking at doing a hotel here in Payson there. We had Tom Adams, he's over Utah Tourism, and we had Todd Brightwell, he's over Utah County Economic Development. So I think we had a really, really good event. It showed a lot of people what we're doing in Payson for economic development, and so I think we're having some good things happen. So I'd like to thank everybody that helped with that today.
I also was up to the golf course today with the tournament all day, and everyone commented about how beautiful our golf course was. How they've never golfed a course that is as pretty as Gladstone. And so we've got a lot of good things going for us here in Payson. And I appreciate the mayor and Dave and everyone that helped with that golf tournament. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to chime in on that as well. Everyone that I talked to not only mentioned that the pristine golf course that we have and the scenery that you can see from there, but also commented on how they like Payson, and it's a beautiful place, and just really complimentary about our community. And we do live in a wonderful area, and we have a wonderful city.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Morell's government classes to City Council today. A whole bunch of you. Just a short thing, I could talk about this one privately. We sent out an email about taking care of trees. I'll go on record right now saying that we need to take care of our trees. Let's make sure they're done. We had a great event here at the city center the other day. We had the the chemistry magicians come down, UVU professors came down, and the place was packed. There were over 400 people that showed up. And thanks to our library, we put on a lot of great events for our community. And then also thanks to Scott Spencer, or not Scott Spencer, Steve Spencer, one of the Spencers. Scott. Scott. Steve Spencer for coming and getting us. No, it is Steve. It is Steve. No, Scott just. Okay. He's the twin that came out a little bit earlier and watched all the things put on. But Steve came out and made sure that we had microphones, and it was really good. There has been a lot of discussion, online communities wanting to know about the traffic situation with the light here on Utah Avenue, and we had some comments that came online. Like to know where we're at. I know Nestor said that we probably met some warrants down by McDonald's for a light change, but that's a state thing. Like, where do we fit into that equation on getting a light down there if we feel like we meet the warrants?
We give the information to UDOT and we have to keep it.
Just gotta keep bugging them until they. Okay. Golf tournament, I wish I would have had a reminder. I probably would have made it, but a reminder would have been nice. I did have a friend that posted one of the rollies and said, "Hey, enjoyed my golf tournament in Elk Ridge." So, we need to put a bigger sign up.
Yes.
Make sure that they know that it's Payson's golf course. No offense to any of my Elk Ridge friends.
Payson was mentioned many, many times, so I don't know how.
All right. It's Jeff Rowley. He's my friend. Okay. And then one other thing is, for those of you who don't know, there's a bunch of people getting together, and I think the city's sponsoring it, from what I understand. Hopefully they talked to the city and got an official sponsorship. But Forbay, there's going to be a party let's show you the trails event on Saturday, October 12th from 10 to 3. There'll be people out there showing where the snowshoe trails and the bike trails and picnic places and hiking places. And we've got community members that have donated food, so take your kids up there. Parking will be in the Scout parking lot across from Camp Mapledale. Great time to go up the canyon. If you've never seen the Forbay area, the leaves will be changing colors. It'll be really pretty. So, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Anything left?
I wanted to thank Tracy, and he's not even here. But he did a great job up there today. He was running his little legs right off. That's it.
Okay, thank you. I do not see any scouts in attendance. Do we have scouts that are here? Oh, there we go. Would you make sure and get your name over to Dave Tuckett, our city administrator? We want to give you a certificate for being here. Just take your name over and go over and talk to him. Take your body over there, I guess.
Get your name over there.
So we'll go ahead and do. Is that the only scout we have? Okay, that'll be an easy one. In the meantime, how long will it take you, Dave? Not very long?
You go to the next one.
Just go to the next one. Okay, we'll go to the next one, which is the oath of office for the police officers. One thing I would like to see if we can do is suspend the agenda here for just a few minutes to include another, a planning commission member, if we could get a motion to do that.
I'll make a motion that we amend the agenda.
Okay, we have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. We'll go ahead and amend it as we need to. Okay, Chief.
All right. Mayor, City Council, members of the public, I just want to introduce the three of our newest officers, if they can come up front.
I second it.
Please.
It's open. Nobody can tell when I'm speaking from this microphone.
You good? Oh, okay. First guy walking up here is Benjamin Harmon. He come from us from Provo Police Department. He's a veteran law enforcement officer who's worked for 10 plus years in the field, and we're super excited to have another guy that's hopped on board that has as much experience as he does. It's been a great fit for our department, and we're lucky to have him. Next officer is Officer Jace Mark McWartson. I slaughter his name every single time. That's why I
Say
just,
it again.
Maybe we should have him say it.
or Woodson. He's gonna punch me afterwards. So, Jason is newly graduated from the police academy about a month ago, and he's been on field training. He owned his own business prior to getting to law enforcement, and we're glad to have him. He's going to be an asset to our department also. Officer Kressel is the next officer there in the white shirt. He come to us from Price PD, and he had experience before in adult probation and parole, so we got a good group of experienced officers this go around, and we're really excited to get them because they're really, really hard to get. Right now, they're more precious than gold right now. So.
Did you tell them what they're supposed to do?
Oh, your first order of business. Sorry, I should have told you this before you started, but Councilman Carter drives a black Ford car. Pull her over. Oh, sorry. She's got a red Ford Explorer.
No, no, the littler one, Escape.
Red Ford Escape, and she expects you to wave at her.
No, she wants a ticket.
When I wave,
Wave back.
wave back.
Yeah, so, anyway, we want to welcome them aboard, and we're thankful to have them, and we appreciate them selecting our department as to be part of our team. So, we welcome. We'll have the where's the judge at? See here? Oh, he's in the back. The guy at the road. Come on. And Doug, I'm glad you mentioned the class was here, because my daughter threatened me, don't say that we're here.
Hey, which one's your daughter?
There we go.
If she'd have been on time, she could have given the prayer.
She was on time.
Oh, I was just early.
No, you weren't, because you took care of it.
You want to do these individually or all three at once?
That's up to you, Judge.
I don't care.
I think it'd be good to individually.
Okay. Come right here, face the audience. Right there is fine. Mark Ward. All right, there you go.
You can say it, Chief.
Officer Harmon, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Benjamin H. Harmon,
I, Benjamin H. Harmon,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Officer Mark Watson. I haven't seen you in court yet. I guess that's a good thing, huh?
Yeah.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jason Mark Watson,
I, Jason Markinson,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. Your name, I see.
Oh, all right.
Something came through for this. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tyler Kressel,
I, Tyler Kressel,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and I will discharge the duties of my office
and I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we got it.
Judge, would you like to go ahead and do this other?
If we could,
Oh,
you want to adjust the agenda?
yeah, that's what we amended the agenda for. While you're doing that, Judge, I'll talk about the appointment of the Planning Commission member. We've had an opportunity to replace one because the current one is having to move and take care of family matters. So I approached Kip Morgan to fill that position from October until April, and he's been good enough to accept that. I've talked to the council members, I believe all of you, about this nomination. So I would entertain a motion to accept Kit Morgan as a member of the Planning Commission.
I would make the motion that we accept Kip Morgan as a member of the Planning Commission.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. A roll call vote starting with Councilwoman Hyatt.
Aye.
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 Kit, I believe you're here. Would you come up? Have you take the oath of office?
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kit Morgan,
I, Kit Morgan,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and the laws and ordinances of Payson City,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
When you get through signing that, come on up and shake our hands if you would, Kit. Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
We've deviated from the agenda, but we'll go ahead and come back to the agenda, to number 5. Oh, yes, we'll do the scouts, yes, scouts. Go ahead.
Okay, I want Palmer to come up here with me. We put every scout up here and we put him on the spot. We want you to tell us your favorite thing about scouting.
Well, I like the adventure.
The adventure, great. What about the adventure? What adventures do you like?
Well, I like going on hikes and
Good. Congratulations. Okay, will you shake all your hands?
Just so you're aware, I did speak with Palmer this just maybe half an hour ago at my home and encouraged him to come, so it didn't take long for him to come. Thank you. Okay, we'll go on to number 5, CTC Mayor's Youth Recognition Award.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm horrible with names, so it looks like a really cute name. Is it Kaija Carr? Come on up here. Did I say it right?
No.
Oh, I know. Can you tell us how to say it the cute way?
Kaya.
Kaya. Okay. J silent. Okay, this is Kaya Carr from Payson High School, and so she was nominated by them, and this is what they wrote. So Kaya Carr, a senior, is a great representative of Payson High School. We are lucky to have her at our school and are proud of her contribution both to the school and the community. At the school, she is a fantastic student and is currently carrying a full academic load with 3 college-level classes. She's also a member of both audition choir at Payson High, both audition choirs at Payson High School. In fact, not only is she a member of the choir, she's also a member of the choir council. Mrs. Morgan has been very impressed with Kaya this year, especially regarding her willingness to help and serve within the choir organization. Mrs. Morgan said, Kaya is one of those rare students who helps without being asked. Other students help because they have to. Kaya helps because she wants to. So congratulations. Okay, the next one, I do know how to pronounce this one. Brandon Judd from Payson Junior High, will you come on up? Hey, Mr. Archer said he is always here, always prepared, always works hard, is always friendly. Mr. Young said Brandon is a great student. He is an outstanding, hardworking, responsible, and respectful student, willing to help others when they are in need, and he is not ashamed to ask for help when he needs it. His attitude is contagious, and I'm grateful to have him in my class this year. And Mrs. Purcell said, Brandon has been in my honors math class for the past 2 years. He's a hard worker, helps those around him. He perseveres through problems and is just an all-around great guy. He is very deserving of this word. And Mr. Archer said, Brandon has been a great student all 3 years here at Payson Junior High School, always, oh, and I already read what he said. Okay. And then our last but not least is Savannah Stinson, so will you come on up? And this is Mount Nebo Junior High. So, Mrs. Olson said, I've had the pleasure of getting to know this young woman over the summer and now in class. She is amazing, excelling in all that she does. She is happy, polite, hardworking, and she sees what needs to be done and just gets it done. Her smile brightens the whole room. She's always willing to lend a hand and quickly steps in to help other students and teachers in the library. Mrs. Stewart said, Savannah is smart and a kind student who is friendly with all of her classmates. She's very hardworking and does every task set in front of her with dedication and excellence. And then Mrs. Bennett said, I don't know her very well, but I really like her. Whenever she comes to the office, she always has a huge smile on her face. She's always polite and happy and has a positive attitude that seems to affect everyone around her. Congratulations. Parents, if you want to come up and take pictures, you can do that right now.
Congratulations to your parents, too. Good to see you.
Thank you, Kim. It's always a pleasure to honor these young men and women. Okay, we'll go to number 6. Ty Jones, Chamber Business of the Month. Boy, you've got a pretty sharp sweater on there, Ty. That has a connection to the golf event, so just so you know.
I borrowed it from Jill.
Oh,
I ain't still late. Anyway, before we get to business of the month, just a few house cleaning items on behalf of the chamber. Not really, but upcoming events. So October 9th, I mentioned before, we're partnering with Payson High School on the Next Step Forward night. That's where they have students who are applying for college, different things, looking at different career opportunities, different things at what they want to do. And we're having an opportunity for small businesses, whether they're members of the chamber or not, to attend and set up a booth or a table inside the school, and they're able to, recruit potential employees, find interest. They are also able to promote products or sell retail items or whatever they do. So we look forward to that.
What time was that going to be?
That is October 9th. That's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And that is from 4 to 7. And that PM. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the next event, we are happily hosting Meet the Candidates Night #2. And that is going to be October 22nd, and that's going to be at the Q90 building downtown, and that is on First South and First East. Yeah, First South, First East. We're holding it October 22nd, 6 to 8, where you can come and meet those, discuss in an intimate setting with the candidates running for city council in the upcoming election. The other thing we want to mention to council and the public is also we're gearing up for Shop Smallopoly, which is a great event where the citizenry can go around to different businesses and collect board pieces, fill their board, win prizes, and it's been a great opportunity for exposure for some of our businesses. The other thing, I'm so happy about this app, Jill, for the Nebo Loop. Our executive director, Andrew Cephalo, has mentioned several people who have called her office wanting more information about Nebo Loop. And so I think that would be a great opportunity. But are there any questions, concerns for the chamber?
Back to the Nebo Loop thing, I think we probably need some sort of sign out there somewhere to let people know. Can we just like staple it to the Forest Service sign up the canyon?
Right, yeah.
The Forest Service is in the audience, folks, that's why I made that comment. National Parks, right? Which National Parks now insulted him. I apologize.
One thing too, Petite, that's our tourism place for the Nebo Loop, and there's a big thing right there at the corner. So.
Yeah, I downloaded the app just barely and downloaded the tour. It looks very neat, very awesome. But any further questions or comments with the chamber?
I have one. I don't know if this is chamber business per se or the city or what, but we get asked a lot about a farmer's market. Do we have a farmer's market on our radar at all?
So I know Spanish Fork Chamber of Commerce does it and has quite success with it. We've discussed with some potential people who would be interested, who would not, who's committed and who's not. Unfortunately, a lot of our agriculture goes up to that Spanish Fork one, and I feel like we'd have competing markets. We haven't looked into it. Maybe that's something we should explore further for next year.
Yeah, we'd be glad to explore that with you.
Yeah.
I think we ought to look at it again, but we did try one downtown about 8, 9, 10 years ago, and we did it for a summer and it wasn't too successful, but I think we ought to look at it again.
Another thing, Ty, I've had a lot of people ask me if Payson would ever consider doing the food truck day like Spanish Fort does.
Brian, he has, Councilman Hewlett has some more info and plant mayor
You bet.
also.
And there's more on that is coming in the future.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
thank
so
you.
that's in the works. So tell them it's in the works.
I don't know if it's organized or what it is, but every once in a while, there's 3 or 4 of them that end up down at Napa on Thursday evenings. So not entirely off the radar on the food trucks. I know that the fish one ends up here sometimes.
Yeah, it's up to Smith's,
Smith's will end up
once a
there.
month.
But it looked more like there were 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
A couple of times I've seen them. So.
We actually have a couple of food trucks who are members of the chamber. So, cool stuff. And
Nice.
at this event, we'll have some food trucks as well on the October 9th, next step forward, shop local. But anyway, any other questions or concerns?
Do you have questions for us?
No. City council is great.
Andre, do you have any questions?
All right, let's get to the reason we're here. We're here to recognize a well-deserved award winner. They're very involved in the community and grateful to invite them up. They were voted by the members of the chamber as Business of the Month for October, and that is Mountain View Hospital. And we have Jamie, come on up.
It's our pleasure to have a business here and our organization in Payson City, and the council and the employees are great to work with and partner with. The concert, hopefully some of you are able to go to that recently, and that's kind of our thank you for all of you choosing Mountain View Hospital to attend, where our big kind of motto is that we hope that when you come there, that we treat you like we were the close family member. So thank you very much. Thank
Here. Where would you like them on here? Yep. Hi, Linda again.
What's with that? Yeah. I don't want to miss Linda back there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, we'll go on to number 7, presentation regarding rivers, trails, and conservation grant for the 4 Bay Master Plan. Jill.
Yes, Mayor and City Council, we have a couple of visitors with us tonight. We're really excited about this. Payson City is a recipient of the Rivers, Trails, and Conservation Assistance Grant through the National Park Service. We've been selected to use their assistance to prepare a master plan for the 4 Bay area. So we've got a lot of great things happening in our community, a lot of outdoor recreation and opportunities. But we do have Brandon Stocksdale with the National Park Service here, as well as Ellie Destrup she's a BYU student, and she is the lead of the student team that is helping with this program. So I'm going to turn some time over to them. They just wanted to give an introduction, let you know a little bit more about the program, what will be involved, maybe some timelines. So I just want to turn some time over to them, but this is something we're just gearing up to do now, and it'll be great to have this update tonight.
So, like Jill said, my name is Brandon Stockstill. I'm a community planner with the National Park Service. The first question I get is, why is the National Park Service here and not down in Zion or Arches? And unlike most of my colleagues in the Park Service who spend most of their time managing and protecting our national parks, the Park Service also has a couple of community-based programs that work around the country. Ours, the Rivers, Trails, and Conservation Assistance Program, is a long name for a small program that our whole job is to help extend the benefits of protecting America's special places and helping people enjoy the outdoors by helping local communities to create those opportunities in their own backyard. So our assistance operates as a technical assistance grant, so communities all over the country apply, and then we choose a number of those projects based on our capacity and where we're at that year to help do some of those projects. So I'm based here in Salt Lake City. I actually live in Orem and travel all around Utah doing these projects. So I'm very excited to work with Payson City. The Four Bay area is a beautiful area. I know the city's put a lot of effort into the purchase and the maintenance of that area in recent years, and there's a lot of enthusiasm from the community to explore that area with a lot of different outdoor recreation opportunities. And so our hope is to engage working with city staff and partner agencies, so the Forest Service, the Water District, DWR, and others, to figure out what are the community's priorities for that area and how can we create a sustainable long-term plan. So reduce user conflict, look at facilities that might need to be improved or built, whether it's trailheads or access points or whatever that is. So as part of this process, we've enlisted the support of a team of BYU planning students. These are senior level planning students at BYU, and Ellie is their team leader. We've got about, what, 8? 5. Excellent. But they're sharp. We've already been out, done a couple site visits. I've been meeting with them weekly. They're already compiling all that data and doing inventories and such, ordinances and trails and all that good stuff. But they're going to be working with us to help with some of that public outreach and coordinating that feedback. We've already scheduled 2 public meetings. The first one is going to be on Thursday, October 17th at 5 p.m. and that'll be here at Payson City Hall. And this is an event that's going to be hosted by Payson City and the Utah Valley Trails Alliance. And our hope is going to be to, again, solicit some of that feedback on what are some of the uses in that 4 Bay area, how does the community use it, what things would you like to see, all that fun stuff. We'll have a second meeting on the...
What time did you say it was?
So that'll be at 5 o'clock on the 17th of October. And then we'll have another meeting on November the 21st. So again, a Thursday, and it'll be at 5 o'clock here as well. So if you have any particular interest in being involved, we'd welcome you to contact Jill, and we'd love to get you as part of our working group. If there are members of the public that are interested as well, please, we earnestly seek your input. So again, I'm excited to be here to help, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To whoever wrote the grant, and thank you for helping us out. I think that's a gem that we have there that we need to take care of.
It is a beautiful area.
Ellie, do you have anything to say?
Apparently she does.
Hello. My name's Ellie. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go on to D, action items, resolution appointments to the Park PARC Tax Committee. I'll go ahead and explain a little bit here. We need 3 individuals on the committee to, I think at least 2 of them, or maybe all 3 are just being reinstated. We have Tara Macon, Jody Beck, and Gina Warren that would like to reinstate as members of that committee. I believe the council is familiar with all 3 of these individuals, so I would accept a motion to reappoint these 3.
I'll make a motion that we reappoint Gina Warren, Jody Beck, and Tara Macon to the Park Committee.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded. A roll call vote starting with Councilman Christensen.
Aye.
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 It passes. Ladies, thank you. If you're here, I don't know that I see any of them here, but thank you for your service and being willing to do that.
Can I ask a question real quick? I would have voted for them anyway, but did we have any other applicants at all, or were those the only ones?
I wasn't here, so
Yeah, we had applicants, I think, what, there were five, and we interviewed all of them, and so it was an interview process. I think Dave and I and Carl.
They all would do good. These guys just had the best. We thought maybe give one more term.
I'm sorry, I should have went through the discussion. I thought it was something.
No,
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to number 3, resolution, Mount Loafer Meadows annexation petition for consideration of acceptance and further review, located at approximately 1500 East and SR 198. Jill?
Okay, Mayor and City Council, this should be a fairly quick item. This is actually the first step of the annexation process. The City Council needs to review the annexation petition and determine whether or not you want to accept it for further review. So we're not talking zoning tonight, we're not talking about specifics of the property, it's just whether or not you want staff and the Planning Commission to start the review on this. So we did receive an annexation petition from David Charles for this property that's highlighted there where the arrow is. It's 8.5 acres. It is immediately adjacent to 40 acres that the city just recently annexed there to the west with the Holdaway Farm. And so the property is contiguous with the city boundaries, which is one of the requirements of state code. As far as the application requirements of state code and city ordinance, this petition does meet those requirements. And if it is accepted for review by the City Council, then staff will process it consistent with Utah code and city ordinance and make sure that the petition satisfies all of those requirements. So it is a very simple and straightforward process tonight of whether or not you want us to move forward. And I know that the property owner is here. If you have any questions for Mr. Charles, he is in the audience, but staff has not completed a review. We're waiting for the decision from the City Council tonight of how you'd like us to proceed.
Okay, thanks, Jill. Is there any discussion for by the council?
I think it's important to look at annexing this property because it's going to be a major intersection in Payson. So with that Nebo Bellway coming through there.
I don't know, I always wonder why it didn't go through with the last one. Is it just recently purchased? Changed hands, or is it just?
No, Mr. Charles has owned it for a while. It's just when the petition was put together for Holdaways, they were only interested in, they did not reach out to any other landowners, so.
All right, I just wonder about the piece directly to the south as you're trying to I don't know. Piggybacking is, I like to clump things together, but I am in favor of this and we can move forward with it the way it is.
And it's the next step that we look at zoning and
Yes.
Okay.
after that.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I would make the motion that we pass the resolution to annex, or to consider the annexation of Mount Loafer Meadows at approximately 1500 East and SR 188.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Councilwoman Hyatt.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Jill. And we'll move on to number 4, ordinance amendments to Title 10, water. Travis.
Mayor and Council, this should hopefully be quick. We had to make some changes to the ordinance just based on some state requirements for the backflow prevention stuff in there that we didn't have in there. And we made a few other little changes as we reread it, but that's kind of the main reason why we had to make some changes, was just to make this in compliance with some of the state requirements. So we just brought that.
That was a long read. There was a lot of red items there.
I know. Trust you, Maria.
So does Karen.
I gave up on it, but
So I do have one question. I tried to read all of it, but I really didn't. But I came across one that talks about, it's 10.8.11, wasting water. It says it's unlawful to waste water. This is a red line one. Or to allow it to be wasted by imperfect stops, valves, leaky joints, or pipes, or to allow tanks or watering troughs to leak, overflow, or to wastefully run water from hydrants, faucets, or stops, yada, yada, yada. So my question is this, like how heavy is this on the city side? Because we get a lot of leaky pipes.
Yes, we do. And obviously, we're trying to address those, and you know, we are starting to do in iWorks, we're able to track work orders and stuff, so I've talked with Cameron about starting to put those in there, because you can actually attach the work order to a map also, and so that will help us track better than we have where some of these leaks are happening, so that, you know, if we get a road that's got 5 leaks on it in a 2-year period, then that's gonna have to move up on a priority. So we are starting to look at that, you know, like we know Main Street leaks a lot, which we have on the plan to replace that. It's just, you know, it's extremely expensive to go 8 blocks or so with the water line, but yeah, we are looking at that a little more than I think we have in the past, and then that'll allow us to then present to you guys, you know, a better picture of why we need to replace some of these, instead of just, oh, we need to replace this line, but we'll have a little backing to do it.
Yeah, I guess my curiosity is how do we hold residents when they say, oh, it's a lot of money, and we say, oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean,
lot of
I
money.
think that the main intent of that portion is, you know, if somebody keeps having a leak and we notify them that, you know, obviously their water bill goes up, but if we keep notifying them month after month and they just refuse to do it, we have at least another mechanism to, besides just finding them, that we can go after too.
With regard to the city, it's a physical ability to do
Yeah,
it, manpower-wise and the money.
When you have over 90 miles of pipe, it's a little more difficult to keep it all perfect. So.
Okay, any council discussion beyond what Councilman Welton? Okay, then guess I'm ready for a motion.
Okay, I would make a motion that we approve the amendments to Title 10 Water in the city code.
Okay, motion's been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Councilman Christensen.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead. What's that? Okay. We'll go to E, German Tree Development Agency. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, Dave.
Directors, this is, Brian may have more information on this, but we have a company in the business park that's requesting that we help with, is it an appraisal or is it a survey?
No, it's a
survey.
Survey, yeah.
So this is a company that out of California that's looking in the business park to do some really nice office warehouse. And they're landlocked. The piece of land they're looking at is right over by the interstate between Temkin and Rocky Mountain ATV. And they've tried, and if you read through this letter, they tried to get with Temkin and put a road in that way. They tried the neighbors to the right by Temkin to put a road to that, and they both said no. So now they're looking at putting the roads. Do we have Google or the state website for parcel maps? And I can show them what we're looking at if we can get that up. But anyway, so they're looking at trying to put a road through there, and the property lines don't align. There's blank spaces in there, and so these guys met with Travis and Nestor and basically say you need a survey to figure this out. And so they've asked the city, they wanted Ludlow, and the survey will cost $3,500, and asked if the city would help take care of that. And we have RDA money. Where do you have the?
What does help take care of that mean? Like we pay for it?
Right.
So that's not help, it's pay for it.
Pay for it. So do you have the pointer?
Yeah, we have to go get it. There's this.
Yeah, right. So if you go down, Dave, right there. So you can see how all those properties, they don't line up and match. So, well, actually, it's the one farther down. So you go down.
Is it the Russell Ridge one?
Yeah, but see the right of Russell Ridge, you can see there's a big blank space there. There used to be a road there, and so it's kind of a no man's land. They need to figure out who owns which piece of property before that road can go through.
The triangle shaped one is the one they want to build on.
That's the one they want to build on. That's correct. Yep. Yeah.
The one on the far right?
So, so this is the piece they want to build on. This is where they want to put the road in, and you can see that right here, this doesn't show up in a parcel, and so,
They can't come in on that road right there by the freeway?
no, that'd be the secondary, that'd be the secondary access, you have to have two roads, one in, so you could use that as a secondary, but they think they've got it worked out where they put the road in here, they'd pay for it all, and they'd help out the Russell family, Rich family. But they're just asking us to pay for the $3,500, we can take it out of the RDA funds, and I think it's a good investment that
Just to fix all the boundary
that
lines.
fix all the boundary lines, and has nothing to do with what the piece of property they're purchasing, so. That's what they're asking, and I'd be in favor of that. We'll have to come back with a budget amendment, but we just want to see if you guys think it's a good thing to move forward, and.
We have to, that would open up and.
Yeah.
Make it available to development.
The other thing we could look at, I haven't checked, I know this is some private property, but we could see what our surveyor could do as well.
Yeah, we could do that too.
And what business is coming in here?
Or
that wants to come in?
It's a place out of California, and they want to build office warehouses, and I should pull up a picture, but they're really nice. The ones they want to build are really nice office warehouse. They're a lot of glass, and they want to make sure that it faces the freeway, the nice part, and they've worked a lot on this. Usually a lot of people will come and ask us to do this and this and this, and I'll just give them a lead, and they'll take off on it, and then they'll get back with us and say, we need some help with this, and then we'll give them a lead. I've been pretty impressed with them so far. So
I've been able to meet with him as well. I'm very impressed. Brian has done some real good research on the individual. He's got a good history. Yeah. And so I think it'd be a good thing for us to start some office space that he could attract companies down here to occupy.
yeah, he's the one that said that he builds stuff all over the country, and he's picked Payson, and he says, I just have a gut feeling about Payson's going to take off, and I want to be here. So.
As far as our surveyor, he did the plat work up just above this, but he couldn't get permission from the Rich family to go on their property, so it might be a problem for our surveyor. I don't know if they worked that out with Mr. Rich to have even a private surveyor go on there. There's going to have to be. That's why we couldn't do that with our surveyor.
Yeah, I think they have worked that out part, but I'm not positive, but I think they have.
Right.
Making the Rich's property pretty marketable.
Have-
Oh, yeah, that's two separate pieces, and we know,
I have mixed feelings. I don't think $3,500 is really going to hurt us at all, and it will help out. But on the flip side, I'm like, they're spending millions of dollars and they can't spend $3,500.
Well, one thing is that the RDA money was to help in the business park, and it's going back to help in the business park make it work. That's what the money was for.
Yeah. Okay. If there's no further discussion, I'm about to be ready to entertain a motion.
Do we want a motion or just say that because we need a budget amendment, so we just, as long as we agree?
I would just make a verbal motion. We would have to do a budget amendment to budget this money, but we could move forward if the council wants us to do it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
And do we have to mention that we're directors here? Or?
Yeah. We got that in the minutes.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we tell them that we will go ahead and take care of this survey for this organization.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, I'll accept a motion to adjourn from redevelopment agency.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.